After 50 years of feminism, it's now men who are getting a raw deal. We pay the most taxes, get the least state support, and are an educated underclass with record high suicide rates. We're also more likely to be homeless, attacked, jailed, drafted, denied parental rights, and rinsed by divorce. And we also die sooner thanks to the life expectancy gap, which sees millions spent on women at our expense.
Hello, I'm Veronica Apollyon, and welcome to this special episode where we examine a critical issue facing our society today.
You're just in this world
the crisis affecting a generation of men.
Here are some things I expect a man to pay for while I'm dating.
And the lack of father figures to societal pressures and mental health struggles. Young men today are navigating a complex and challenging landscape. Join me as we explore the key factors contributing to this crisis and the urgent need for solutions. Chapter 1: Decline in Relationships. Another critical issue contributing to the crisis facing young men is the decline in relationships and the increasing prevalence of loneliness. Many young men today report difficulties in forming meaningful romantic and social connections. One significant factor is the changing perception and value of relationships. There is a growing sentiment among some men that modern relationships, particularly with Western women, lack the traditional values and mutual respect they seek. This perception is fueled by cultural shifts that emphasize independence and self-sufficiency, often at the expense of interdependence and partnership. Research indicates that the rise of individualism and changes in social norms have made it more challenging for men to find and maintain relationships. The decline in marriage rates and the increase in divorce rates have also contributed to a sense of instability and uncertainty about long-term commitments. Additionally, the rise of dating apps and social media has transformed the way people meet and interact, often leading to superficial connections and heightened competition. Many young men feel disconnected and isolated, struggling to find genuine companionship. The phenomenon of hookup culture and the emphasis on casual relationships over committed partnerships have further exacerbated feelings of loneliness and alienation among young men. Many men report feeling undervalued and unappreciated in a dating environment that prioritizes fleeting connections over lasting bonds. Societal expectations and stereotypes about masculinity can further exacerbate these issues, making it difficult for men to express vulnerability or seek help when they feel lonely. The stigma surrounding loneliness can lead to further isolation and mental health challenges. Addressing these issues requires a cultural shift towards valuing deep, meaningful relationships and providing support for men to build and maintain these connections. Encouraging open conversations about loneliness and creating spaces for men to connect and support each other can make a significant difference.
Nah, it's tough.
Chapter 2: The Lack of Father Figures. A critical factor in the crisis facing young men is the absence of strong, positive father figures. The rise in single-parent households, particularly those headed by single mothers, has left many young men without the guidance and support they need during their formative years. Research shows that fatherless homes can have profound effects on children's development, particularly for boys. The lack of a male role model can lead to issues such as low self-esteem, behavioral problems, and difficulties in forming healthy relationships. Father figures provide essential guidance, discipline, and emotional support. Their absence can leave young men feeling directionless and unprepared to navigate adulthood's challenges. Chapter 3: The Breakdown of the Nuclear Family. The breakdown of the nuclear family has had a profound impact on young men, contributing to feelings of being lost and unanchored. Traditionally, the nuclear family, consisting of a father, mother, and children, provided a stable and supportive environment. The nuclear family model offered young men role models, guidance, and a clear sense of identity. Fathers provided a template for manhood and responsibility, while the family unit fostered a sense of belonging and purpose. As family structures have evolved and divorce rates have increased, many young men find themselves without this foundational support. The absence of a cohesive family unit can lead to a lack of direction and purpose, making it challenging for young men to establish their own identities and values. Furthermore, societal changes and economic pressures have made it more difficult for men to fulfill traditional roles as providers and protectors. This shift has left many men feeling inadequate and struggling to find their place in modern society. Despite these challenges, the desire to have a family remains strong among many young men. The longing for connection, stability, and the opportunity to be a positive role model for their children drives their aspirations.
Do you think men are important? Like for what?
Chapter 4: Men as disposable. Another critical issue is the perception of men as disposable in the modern era, exacerbated by the rise of the girl boss culture and some interpretations of feminism that emphasize female empowerment at the expense of male value. In recent years, societal shifts towards gender equality have in some instances led to the unintended consequence of marginalizing men. While female empowerment is crucial and long overdue, there is a growing narrative that men are less needed or valued in today's society. This perception can lead to feelings of disposability among men, who may feel that their roles as providers, protectors, and leaders are being undermined. The emphasis on women's success stories and achievements, while important, sometimes comes at the expense of recognizing and valuing men's contributions. The notion that men are disposable is also reinforced by the media and popular culture, which often portray men as either incompetent or unnecessary. This can have damaging effects on men's self-esteem and sense of purpose, contributing to the broader crisis of identity and worth.
She locked me in the flat one day.
She locked you in the flat?
Yeah, she locked me in the flat. Obviously, me being angry, I didn't know the door was locked. I've gone over, I've grabbed the door handle, pulled it, and it's come straight off in my hands. So we're stuck on a three-storey flat, and I've had to jump off a three-storey balcony. I ripped all my leg open, all my back, all my legs, the lot, and I ended up in hospital, you know, because she won't let me out of the house.
It's not funny, though. Can I tell you why it's not funny? And I don't want to upset any of the audience, because I completely appreciate the fact that you're here, but I'll tell you why I don't think you should laugh. If this was the other way around, and a woman was sat here, and a bloke had locked her in a flat, and she had to jump out and injured herself, you lot would not be laughing. You would be saying, he's a complete nightmare, he should be locked up, and that's disgraceful. But somehow, if it happens to a bloke, that's funny. That's not funny, is it? That isn't.
Chapter 5: Double Standards in the Mental Health Crisis. The mental health crisis among young men is exacerbated by a significant double standard. While women are often encouraged and praised for discussing mental health openly, men frequently face stigma and are discouraged from expressing vulnerability. Moreover, there's a prevalent trend where women offer advice on men's mental health experiences, yet men are often told they cannot comment on women's experiences. This double standard not only undermines men's struggles, but also silences their voices in crucial discussions about mental health. Many men feel that their experiences and emotions are dismissed or invalidated, leading to further isolation and reluctance to seek help. It's essential for women to step back and listen to men's experiences without imposing their perspectives, allowing men the space to express themselves and be heard. Effective mental health support systems and campaigns to destigmatize seeking help are essential to address this crisis. Promoting open conversations about mental health and providing accessible resources can make a significant difference in the lives of young men.
If you're a male, you should not be
By
having
recognizing and addressing these double standards, we can create
but I think all of you
a
should be getting
more
vasectomies.
inclusive
about how males should be getting
and supportive
because honestly,
environment for men to discuss their mental health challenges openly and without fear of judgment. Conclusion. Reflecting on the crisis. As we reflect on the crisis facing young men today, it's clear that society needs to take urgent action. The rise of false prophets, the absence of father figures, the breakdown of the nuclear family, the perception of men as disposable, and double standards in the mental health crisis are all contributing factors that require comprehensive solutions. Supporting young men involves creating positive role models, promoting mental health awareness, and addressing the unrealistic expectations placed upon them. By fostering a more inclusive and supportive environment, we can help young men navigate these challenges and build fulfilling lives. Thank you for joining me on this critical exploration. Stay informed, stay engaged, and advocate for the well-being of the next generation. Thank you for watching this episode on the crisis facing young men. Together, we can make a difference by understanding the issues and working toward solutions that support and uplift our youth.